Thank you. And number 2 in the name of Deputy Pat Casey, the potential of Ardmore Film Studios as a centre for film production. Deputy Casey.
The Minister isn't here.
I think, Minister, are you taking this?
You're taking it, sorry. Okay. Apologies for that.
He's here for all.
Thanks indeed for giving me the opportunity to raise this, what is a very serious issue in relation to Wicklow. And it was indeed a very sudden and out-of-the-blue announcement yesterday that we received an email saying that the Ardmore Film Studios in Wicklow is being placed for sale on the open market. And this does give serious rise to Enterprise Ireland and indeed the Government in relation to the development of the film industry in Wicklow and in relation to the massive jobs potential that this industry brings to our county. And as what most people would be aware of, that Ardmore Studios is the birthplace and the foundation of the Irish film industry in Wicklow and indeed in Ireland. And Ardmore is an amazing success story which should be built on and not sold off. The proposed 18-acre site is crucial to the development of Wicklow and the film industry in Wicklow and indeed the nation. Productions at Ardmore have received over 14 Oscars, many BAFTA, Golden Globes and Emmy Awards, including such well-known films as Braveheart, My Left Foot, Excalibur, and in the modern television era, Moonboy, The Tudors and Penny Dreadful. The film industry is a key industry for the economic development of Wicklow and Ireland, and with up to 500 jobs associated with this studio at full capacity. And Minister, it has been at full capacity for the last 2 years, earning profits of 1.5 and 1.6 million. Significant public investment by successive governments and indeed by Wicklow County Council has been given to this site over decades, and the industry has grown through the proposed Section 481 tax measures. The Government, through Enterprise Ireland, is a shareholder in this site, is a 32% stakeholding according to the RT Business News yesterday. And what I want to know today, what is the reason behind the Government's sale in this site? The announcement to sell the studio as a going concern is very worrying because there is substantial risk that it will be sold to the highest bidder, which could be a developer and have absolutely nothing to do with the film industry. I wanted the Government to confirm that the sale is conditional, that Ardmore be retained as a film production centre. No ifs and no buts, just a simple clarification that this site will remain in the film industry. In my view, the film production is a national strategic industry where the Government, through Enterprise Ireland, should retain a direct shareholding interest, such as the Ardmore site in Wicklow. And indeed, Minister, following the Civil War and at the beginning of Sean Lemass's determined efforts to modernise the Irish economy, it was Emmett Dalton, the friend and comrade of Michael Collins, who convinced his old Civil War enemy, Sean Lemass, to invest in the film industry and to build a studio in Ardmore, a 37-acre site which opened in 1958. If Sean Lemass could be convinced by Emmett Dalton that the Irish state should be involved in the film industry, it is ironic that a Fine Gael-led government could be about to see the dramatic partnership end. As a key shareholder, can I ask the Minister to confirm that the sale of the studio will be conditional on its continuance as a centre of film production? Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy. And Paris Lodge.
I thank you for raising this matter, and clearly, obviously, my thoughts are with the workers and families of by the announcement affected by the announcement, and I would hope that all employment rights and legislation rights is put in place to deal with workers if it comes to the closure or the sale of the studios. I've been told that, and I should point out that Ardmore, the sale of Ardmore Studios is a commercial decision by the owners of the studios. In this regard, Enterprise Ireland has only a minority stake in the ownership of Ardmore Studios, which is a legacy issue as a result of an equity investment and a loan by NADCORP, which is the predecessory state agency. The balance is owned by a company that is owned by its shareholders. So Enterprise Ireland is only a minority, which means that the government would only have a minority in it. And it's also worth noting that a significant part of the site being sold as Ardmore is owned for film production only. This is the information we got quite recently. Enterprise Ireland supports certain types of companies in the creative sector in areas such as the digital content, animation and digital filmmaking. Enterprise Ireland provides these companies with a range of supports appropriate to their stage of business and is committed to supporting these companies internationally. As a matter of fact, today Minister Fitzgerald and Taoiseach, Minister for Justice and Equality, they've just concluded a 2-day Enterprise Ireland trade to Cannes and Provence-Sur in parts of France, where there's 23 Irish where representatives of 23 Irish companies travelled to France to build business relations with their current and prospective counterparts in 4 key sectors of the region. 17 companies from the Irish film sector were part of the group and included such companies as Soho, Moon, Bandit Films, Irish TV and Treehouse Republic. And building on its commitment to this sector, Enterprise Ireland is highly supportive of the establishment of Animation Ireland, the trade association for the leading Irish animated studios working together to promote Ireland's world-class sector internationally. Can I say that I know that Wicklow has been home to Ardmore Studios since 1958, and in the recent establishment of another state-of-the-art studio, which is, you probably are aware, Ashford Studios, demonstrates the region's suitability as a hub for the indigenous and international film industry in Ireland. The regional presence of the Wicklow Film Commission is an additional support to filmmakers exploring options for filming in the area. And the Mid-West Region Action Plan for jobs as a number of actions in support of the film sector include the feasibility study and business plan for the development of the film industry cluster in the county, to activate the film industry network to contribute towards the development of an audiovisual cluster, piloting a 1-day workshop on film industry and related training, building on success of the film sector by providing supports and initiatives and developing ancillary services, the provision of film industry related training programmes in partnership with third-level institutions in the area and around the area. In this regard, Wicklow County Council education and training providers and the Film Industry Development Group are working with Wicklow LEO to process these actions in the Regional Action Plan for Jobs. But what I wanted to say was that my information, and this is information, by the way, I have to apologise to you, I'm taking this question very quickly, with quick information being given to me, that this was a commercial decision not made with the part shareholders of Enterprise Ireland have a small minority share. Now, what share they have, I do not know, and I'm not going to pretend that I know. But I most certainly, either Minister Richard Bruton or myself, will come back to you on this, because this has been investigated at present, and we are in contact with whoever needs to be contacted, because it is a blow to the area, there's no question about it. But the involvement of the government, I think, I'm not too sure on that base that it is a commercial decision, and the minority stake is with Enterprise Ireland.
Thank you, Minister. Pat Casey.
Thank you, Minister, and I thank you for coming in to take the question. And I have to say, on a personal level, this is very disappointing. I was asked to defer this question from yesterday to today so that the Minister would be here to answer it. She is clearly not. It does raise equally more suspicion as to what's going on here, and that's not a word I use lightly. The state don't have a small shareholding in this industry. They have a third. They have a 32% stakeholding in this industry. And I fully agree with you in relation to your action plan for jobs. On page 5 and page 7, it clearly states the unique opportunities that Wicklow offers to develop and build on the film industry. It quotes the 2 studios involved, and we are now, as a state, selling our shareholding in the largest film studio in this country, and we're selling it unconditional, with absolutely no conditions attached to it, and it is totally and absolutely unacceptable. Equally, as a member of Dail Ireland for Wicklow, I contacted IBI Corporate Finances yesterday, and I was point-blankly refused to get a copy of the prospectus of sale in order to study it. I was told I would have to ring Ardmore Studios themselves to get a copy of the prospectus. I rang Ardmore Studios. I was talking to the CEO of Ardmore Studios directly in relation to this, and she equally refused me a copy of the same. So I have to question as to what's going on here, and I have serious reservations about the government's role in it. And I think it's disappointing that a minister comes here and doesn't know what's happened in relation to the stake they have in an industry. Doesn't know. That is not acceptable. And equally, I am very annoyed that I was asked to defer this question yesterday. I did that on the behest that the minister would be here today, and she is not here today. You do not know how important this industry is to Wicklow. It must be maintained. This site must be maintained as a film industry now and moving forward. And I'm very, very disappointed that the correct minister is not here to answer this today when I was asked to defer it for 24 hours.
Thank you, Deputy Minister. Final reply.
I'm not going to defend the indefensible in the sense that I don't think, if Ardmore Studios are closing, we need to know why, and we obviously need to know the extent. For instance, I was not aware they had a 33% stake in it. I didn't know. I knew Enterprise Ireland had a small stake. But what I would say to you is that the policy issues concerning the film industry are matters for my colleague, Minister Humphreys, and Minister for Arts, Heritage and Regional, Rural and Gaeltacht Affairs. All I can say to you is that I myself will contact Minister Humphreys as soon as I can to make contact with you. I think that's reasonable to see where we can go from there on it.
Okay.
Well, this is what I'm informed. I'm also informed that the planning issues regarding our Minister Coveney, which is Planning, Community and Local Government, but apparently the Minister dealing with this, and this is what I've been told, is Minister Humphreys, Minister for Arts, Heritage and Regional, Rural and Gaeltacht Affairs. And what I will say to you is that any information you need regarding what is happening to Ardmore Studios, I will do my best over the next few days to make sure that all that information is imparted to you by whatever department should be doing that. I would not find it acceptable that you being a TD from that area there, that you would not have all the relevant information. If I myself can gather that information for you, for contacts or exactly what's happening with Enterprise Ireland and what's happening with the government's role in it, I will do that, and I give you my word on that. If not, I will contact the relevant department, the minister that's specifically dealing with this, and contact you in the next couple of days.
Thank you, Minister. Now we're going to move on to question 3. It's in the name of Deputy Imelda Munster. You have 4 minutes.